Hi everyone, Paul here again. Today I'm going to share with you an activity that you'll have access to through the OUSD Math website. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're not familiar where to find the website, just go into your single sign-on. You go to Remote Learning. And then in Remote Learning, scroll down until you see Curricular Websites and go ahead and click Math. And so this activity today that I'm sharing with you is going to be on the Strategic Thinking tab up at the top here. So if I click that and scroll down, you're going to see Crayon Logic by Marcy Cook. And this activity has been out for a long time. Like Marcy Cook, she has really engaging and thought-provoking activities. So this one, I made you 3 resources to get started. And the first is a Kahoot Warmup. I know many of you are familiar with that. It's just to see where the students are with the vocabulary. The next is the activity itself, which I put on Jamboard, which is part of Google, and I'll show you where to find that. And then I also made a short answer key for the activity. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Up here, I'm just going to show you very quickly in my Kahoot. I shared this as the resource. It's just 5 quick questions to get the students thinking, having fun. This is for primary and intermediate, but it is important to know if they're understanding even number, odd number, less than, greater than, and between, values between 2 numbers, because that's what the activity centers around. So I am now going to show you the activity itself, and I'm going to show you here. This is, I made this on Jamboard. It's basically a whiteboard. I know there's a lot out there. The reason that I like this particular one is because it easily and effectively shares with a Google Classroom. And you're also able to either invite students onto the board to interact with you while you're on the board, or you can, in the Google Classroom, assign it and force a copy out to the students so they have their own Jamboard already created and able to work on that they're able to turn into you. And I'll show you that in a second. So, and the third resource is here. It's just a Google Doc that I made, but it's the answer key for what we're about to do right now. And so there's just 3 short little problems I made for this activity. So jumping back onto my Jamboard, again through Google, and let me just very quickly, some of you may have used it before but forgotten where it is. Just real quick, I'm going to jump to my drive. Just so you know, if you go to New, scroll down to More, and you can see it right here, Google Jamboard. And if you click that, it's going to open you up a blank slate. So I'm going to jump back to it. Okay. So here I made just a few images. They're the crayons, and you see some numbers to the side. Those are going to be numerical values. And then in the middle, you see some sticky notes going from top to bottom, just some information. Tells the students what colors there are here, and then short directions. We're going to be placing the crayons next to the correct numerical value based on the statement below. And then below is your conditional statement, or your if this, then that. So here we have if red is more than blue and yellow is an even number, then red is. And so we just go ahead and guide the students and have some discussion about where they think the crayon should go. Since it is a new activity for them, it would be nice to do it with them and then try to have a discussion on where they think and why they think the crayon goes next to which numerical value. Once you have shown them how the activity works, at that point, you can either continue and do this as whole class, as you know, or small group, and just have the discussion and solve the activity that way. But you can also, which is really cool, and I know I just mentioned it, but you can just as easily jump to your Google Classroom and you are able to create your activity. You can create this as an assignment, and just like with all the other assignments, you're able to go ahead and add from your Google Drive. So you could add your Jamboard. Now, when you add the Jamboard, and make sure to push it out as a copy for all of them. So if I do Crayon Logic, right here, remember in this area, be sure to make a copy for each student. So once you do that, they have their own personal Jamboard that you created. So if this were maybe 4th grade or 5th grade, even 6th, then they would have this Jamboard. This would be the page that maybe you worked with them on, introducing the lesson. If you go up to the top here, what I did was I made 2 more slides. Go to the next one. They can then go through this one. Now this one becomes more complex, has 4 colors, and it also has 2 solutions. So the students would then just go ahead and drag the crayons where they feel they go, and then they would be able to submit that to you. So you could use this one right away without even have to create anything yet. If you go to the 3rd one, I've made 6 colors, and then you see all the conditions down here, and the students try to go ahead and align the color to the correct numerical value. So again, this could be great whole class. You can put them in breakout rooms and Blackboard Collaborate, and have them come back for a whole class discussion and share their screens. Or you can assign it as, as work to do at their house. And so I will remind you, you can either invite them onto the board so that they're actually manipulating the board with you in real time, or you can push it out as a copy for an assignment on Google Classroom. And since it is part of Google, it tends to work much more effectively than third-party apps. So I hope this was helpful. Again, it's Marcy Cook, great stuff. If you go online and look her up, I'm sure you can find other Crayon conditional statements, so you don't have to do too much thinking when trying to create some of these. So that's it. I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, take care of yourself.